Usually in the classes, we take a paragraph or we take a pasuk and we try to find a deeper concept to learn with you together. Today we're going to go to a different direction, with your permission. The Tu B'Shvat, and it's extremely cold outside, so something to warm up the environment. When you read the Torah usually is written lines and pages one after the other. When it's come to Shirat Hayam, this is from the Torah. In the Torah it doesn't write, it's not written in the normal order. It's like building a wall of blocks with a space in between. And if somebody would write the Sefer Torah in the wrong, in the regular order, the Sefer Torah is pasul. This way of building a wall, it's called Ariach Velevena. This is the name of this. But when we go to Megillat Esther, in the middle of the Megillah, there is a list of Haman descendants that were hanged. And this is the way to write it in the Megillah. Like columns, 2 columns. And if you are changing, you puzzle it. It's become no good. And the Gemara is wondering in Masechet Megillah if there is any meaning to why it should be written on this way. And the Gemara says like this. Amar Rabbi Chanina bar Papa, Darish Rav Shila, Ish Kfar Tamarta, Kol HaShirot Kulan, when you write the Shirot, the special paragraph, the special poems or Shira in the Torah, it's written Ariach al Gabe Levena with space in between. Chutz Mishira Zo, of the 10 children of Haman, that over there you have to write it in 2 columns. And what is the reason? I hope you're sitting. The reason is Shelo tiyeh tkuma lemapalatan. That in the case of Bnei Haman, when it's written 2 columns, that her sin will never be forgivable, and they will never be able to stand up again. And when I read this Gemara yesterday, I was very confused, because I don't understand why, if you write it like a brick wall, or if you write it like 2 columns, one of them is more spiritual than the other. For me, it looked like a nice design in the Torah. And I gather a few questions that we are going to discuss it with you. The first question is, since when the Haman list has become a Shira? I know there is Shirat Dvorah, I know there is Shir Hashirim, I know there is Shirat Hayam, but why the name of 10 mafia people become a Shira suddenly? This is the first question. The second question, if you know there is another Shira in the Torah, it's a real Shira, it says, Parashat Ha'azinu. Parashat Ha'azinu, it's 2 columns too. I would understand perfectly if you ask me from Parashat Ha'azinu, which is Shira, to Parashat Beshalach, which is Shira. I would understand, at least there is, Shira. But a list of these people that nobody likes to remember them, it's another question. The third question that I will ask you, what is the connection? We write it in 2 columns. It's called Mapalatam Shel Reshaim. What is the so special in this? And the fourth question is that we know that Shirat Hayam was against, it's the victory against Paro. And this Megillat Esther is the victory against Haman. What's so special in Paro that we tell him that Haman is Rasha, but Paro is almost Tzaddik? I never saw it in the Torah. I know that Paro, he learned the lesson, but to tell him that he's become now... And if you're going to read over here, Rashi, the commentary on the Torah, he explains, and he says like this. Arich HaLevena, he says, I saw you in Shirat Hayam, the written part is called Arich, and the Levena is from Lavan, is the empty space. This is what he called Arich veLevena. שהוא כפליים מן הכתב, שלא תהיה להם תקומה, שלא יהיה להם מקום להרחיב צעדיו תחתיו. They don't have space. Who? They hang them. Space, which space they need. This is what Rashi says, is that you shouldn't have any space. He gave me an explanation and I don't understand, not the answer, not the explanation. Somebody have an idea over here, somebody?
The thing is, what there were action between Paro and Haman, Haman will destroy everything, spiritual, physical, everything destroyed. Paro didn't care about spiritual much. He says, I want to destroy their physical aspect.
No, Paro is Mi Hashem. Paro is the biggest atheist in the world. They say, oni priznают Bog.
When Yosef talked to him, did he realize that there was he's Hashem's?
When Yosef spoke to him, he spoke about money. He told him, Moshe, how much? Hashem, כמה אתה משלם בקיצור? Hashem, רחום וחנון. What is the tachlis? This is a businessman. Don't mix. And I opened the Ran. Rabbeinu Nissim is one of the Rishonim on the Torah, on Masechet Megillah. And over there, he starts from a midrash. I start with a midrash, then I go to our part, and we try to make over here an order about, in this very strange midrash, an explanation. What is the common sense here? And he says the following: there is a question that Rabbi Itzhak is asking. In 1 month, we are going to celebrate Purim, Be'ezrat Hashem. We start to feel Purim already, Baruch Hashem. And we know that on Hanukkah, we say Eidei Hallel. On Pesach, we say Hallel. But on Purim, we don't say Hallel. As Rabbi Itzhak שואל, why we don't make Hallel on Purim? אז הוא אומר, אמר רבי יצחק, לפי שאין אומרים שירה על נס שנעשה בחוץ לארץ. The miracle of Mordechai and Esther happened in Persia somewhere. And because the miracle happened in Chutz La'aretz, with all the respect to those who live in New York, but miracles doesn't have Hallel.
Pesach also happened.
So Baruch Hashem, become like, מחטיף לרב נחמן, כמו, והרי יציאת מצרים didn't happen in Israel, it's happened next to, in Egypt. גם עשויה בחו"ל. And we say over there, we say Hallel at night, at the daytime. What is which kind of answer you give me? So Rabbi Itzhak tell him, please, you have to compare, you have to separate, you have to differentiate. What? That before we got the Torah, all the world was the same thing. A miracle says Shira. Now we came to Eretz Israel, finish. Forget about the past and live now the present. This is the first answer. Rav Nachman say, no. Rav Nachman say, as the Rebbetzin said, the Megillah itself is the Hallel. Kriyata היא Halila. This is the Hallel. מתקיף לרבה, אומר, how can you say it? בישלמה התם הללו עבדי השם ולא עבדי פרעה, אך המיינים לא עבדי השם ולא עבדי אחשוורוש, שקדתי אחשוורוש, ילקר למין הללו בפורים. He tells a different story altogether. What he tells us, learn a part of a piece of Gemara. He tells him why we don't say Hallel on Purim and we say Hallel on Pesach, because after the holiday, after the miracle of Haman, of Megillah took place, you know what happened? Nothing. People stood up in the morning, they went to work, they paid taxes to the king Achashverosh. He told them, let's build Eretz Israel. I told them, leave us alone, we like where we are. When we were say Hallel on Pesach, it wasn't just a miracle that took us a place in Egypt and that's all. It was the end of the era of Pharaoh for the Jews. So Rabbi said the reason we don't say Hallel in Purim because nothing has changed. You had a problem, and we get rid of the problem, but you continue your life as it happened before the miracle of Mordechai and Esther. Now we have better connection. Mordechai is a big macher over there. Esther is the king. You have better connection, but concept, you are still a slave in Malchut Achashverosh. Your own will, other people will. So basically say why we don't say Hallel in Purim because nothing happened. So you read the Megillah about what happened in the Megillah, and then you go back home, and it's over. This is, and then we continue with the midrash of Rabbi Abba de Minyafo. They say when you say Aseret Bnei Haman, you have to say it in one. You take a long breath and say it in one shot, because we don't want to lose nobody. And when you say Vayezata, make the Vav of Vayezata very long, as long as you can. Vayezata, and then you finish the list of these 10 big shots. And over here you bring the midrash of Rabbi Yonah Bar Papa about the Shira that's going to be, there is a space and written and space and written like a brick wall. The Ran writes on this like this. Rashi explains that the first arich is called the written part, and Levena is the empty space. Mm-hmm. And he says, Rabbeinu Tam says, his grandson said differently. He said that in the Shirat Hayam there is small lines and big lines. It means there is small, so he say if it's a big one and small one, the arich ולבנה is the written part. ועכשיו הוא אומר, מה פירוש, we say, שלא תהיה תקומה למפלתן, טעמו של דבר, לכשהחומה שווה בשני ראשיה ואין בה בליטות, אין להוסיף עליה ולחזקה, כמו שהם היו יכולים, אם היו שם בליטות. ושיני החומה שאז יכולים להוסיף על הבניין ולחזקו. וכגון זה שירת הים, מה שאין כן כשעמוד עצר של כל אחד משתי צידיו ושירת האזינו, שזה שווה, that it's equal, מפני שיש בה מפלתם של רשעים, דכתיב מראש פרעות אויב, וכתיב ודם עבדיו יקום. They try to explain us, and I don't understand what they want to tell us. What is the connection to mapalatam shel reshaim? The Ran says like this. He say when the shira is space and there is a place to extend it, to build from the side to make it nicer, but when it's 2 columns, you cannot add nothing. This is what he explained. But my question is to you: what is the connection to mapalatam shel reshaim? So,
could it be this what they want to build? Haman, he built a long tree. That's what it looks. He wants to hang all the Jews.
But the tree has, Baruch Hashem, kind of branches sometimes.
No branch. It was straight, tall. Over there, he wants to
So let's start. Let's start together. I'll tell you what I think, and hopefully we go from this midrash to our life, because I like to take something that you have to learn. We say in the Hallel Gadol, we start the Hallel and we say, Hallelu Avdei Adonai, Hallelu et Shem Adonai. Praise the name of God, the slaves of God. And pray is the name of God, the real God, or whatever. What is the explanation is. There is a wonderful midrash that says, we saying this, praise the name of God, you are the slaves of God. If you are a slave of God, let's say, let's praise the name of God. The midrash says that the one who said this statement was not else than Paro himself. We took the Hallel, we start with Paro's statement. Hallelu Avdei Hashem, Hallelu et Shem Hashem. So whenever we say on Pesach, we say Hallel for 8 days, Baruch Hashem, we start with a statement that Paro said. Why we should start with this wonderful big shot? And now I understand that I wanted to explain the difference, the first understanding. I tried to teach you 3 understandings. I hope you're going to get all of them. The first understanding, when you build a wall, when you're building a wall, and it's a process of building. A column, as you say very nicely, you can make it like you put enough wood and beams, and you fill it up, and it become one. You can make it in one shot. Like molding, you put 4 big beams, you fill it up from all the way from up to down with concrete. After 2 days you open it and you have a whole column. As opposed to bricks wall that you have to build it one by one. When Paro, the first time Moshe is telling him, let my people go, what Paro is telling them? Who is Hashem? Why Paro is telling them who is Hashem? Because for him it's not convenient to have Hashem now. Why? He has work to do, he has to deliver, now Hashem, you know my joke about the one that, the businessman that he had a closing, $10 million profit, broker for his, and then his friend tell him in the morning, Mashiach is coming today. Omer Hashem, today? 2,000 years, you wait another day, let me finish the closing. Not because he doesn't want the Mashiach, but because it's at this moment, it's not convenient. No, it's convenient. When Moshe is telling to Paro, let my people go, Paro tell him, you know what? I have so many things scheduled. Can you leave me alone? I'll come after hours, we'll talk about. It's not that he has something against Hashem in a way of thinking. It's built up in his life that it's convenient that Hashem is not there. That he is Hashem. He is God. And it's convenient to him. People are coming to him, you are the God, whatever you say, dictatorship. Maybe himself, not necessarily he would agree to it, but this is the right thing now. And it's built up. Sometimes you build up your way of thinking of life by your experiences, what you saw from others, and you gain a certain understanding. And it can be that you have something which is against the Torah, but not because you are not against the Torah. It's because it's more convenient to do it like this. Because Paro, when he starts to get the punishment, you know what happening to him? He say to Hashem, he talks to Hashem. The last statement he told to Moshe, he say, Moshe, when you go to worship in the desert, please say Misha Berach to me. Somebody doesn't believe in Hashem. Why do you mean Misha Berach? It means Uberachtem gam oti. I want to be connected. Hashem HaTzadik. He make a statement based on his comfortable, on convenience. Therefore, Shirat Hayam is building as a bricks, one after the other. Because Paro had eventually, there is a question if he did tshuva or not, because he saw everything is because this kind of people, you can do tshuva with them. They're very difficult, but you can work it out with them. But there is one exception in this list. Who is this exception? Haman. Haman, you ask him, tell me, why you don't like me? He say, I don't know, but I don't like you. Let me help you, I don't care. Let me do something. In our parasha, it says at the end of the parasha, after שירת הים, כתוב, ויבוא עמלק וילחם ישראל ברפידים. So where are you coming from? I understand the most of the wars happened to the Jews when they came close to somebody's borderlines, and the person feels what? Threatened, and he comes to defend himself. I understand that there is a war. Amalek was about 500 miles far away from the desert, from Yam Suf. And he came to fight with the Jews. כתוב ויבוא Amalek. So we were asking, where are you coming from? What do you want? I don't want nothing. What do you want? I cannot bear the idea that the Jewish people are powerful now. But nobody is threatening you. No, the concept makes me allergy. How are we going to put it in the Torah in the best symbol? Like a column. That you put 4 beams and you pour concrete on them and you open it, and that's all. This is what you have. There is no progress, no opening, no nothing. It's full of hatred from A to Z. So you write it over there in Megillat Esther like 2 columns. Omer Aran, why are we doing it on Parashat Ha'azinu? Because at the end it says, Kidam avadav ikom v'nakam yeshiv letzarav. This is the nekama that we have against the offsprings of Amalek. Milchama Hashem ba'Amalek midor dor. So Ha'azinu, it talks about the ultimate revenge from Amalek.
Also columns.
Has to be columns. Megillat Esther talking about Amalek is columns. But Paro, if he is the one who is give us the first sentence of Halel Gadol, it means that he learned something. How much we learn? So Omer Rashi, we put over there a space because he has a space to grow up. This is the pshat. He has a space to grow up. ככה מסביר את זה הר"ן. So, I was thinking about it and I say it's very good, it's written in the Torah, I explained it, but you will ask me, Rabbi, what is it to do with us? And now let's go to the part that really belongs to us, and I would like to teach you tonight, to teach all of us. In our life, we can separate our behaviors to 2 main directions. I call it the column behavior and the bricks behavior. The bricks behavior, slowly, you're going up. There is space, there is written, there is up, but you're building a wall. You're learning from your experience, you're changing, you're building up. But there is other people, unfortunately, they make the columns, they pour the cement, and they say, this what we are, don't change me. How do we call it? The 22nd line in the auction, as is. Don't touch me. I'm not willing to change. I don't want to listen. Say whatever you say. This is who I am. In Judaism, these people are very dangerous, emotional and spiritual situation. You know why? They will never grow up.
They belong to 80% of the left in Mitzrayim.
In 80% of Mitzrayim, maybe yes, maybe no, but maybe it belongs to the 20% that came out of Egypt and built the golden calf after 3 months. I'm not talking about Amalek is something which is out of the. We're talking about ourselves. Jewish people don't want to change. Don't change me. Why? I don't want to listen. I don't want even to explain. How many times we are facing this behavior in our marriage life?
No.
You ask something from your wife, you say, no, don't talk to me, I don't want to change. You ask something to your husband. עד כאן, תחום שבת. Don't talk, I don't want to change, this is what I am. And you are not willing to risk even a change. In a Jewish world, it's become a very dangerous situation in the Jewish way of thinking. Because you become so perfect, you start to build walls around yourself, and eventually you become a slave of yourself. And it can be for small things and big things. There are people who are very, very insecure. They don't want guests in their houses. They don't want to go to no events. What happened to them? They want to punish the society, but eventually they are the victims of themselves. I was thinking something today when I was writing the shiur, who Hashem puts against Haman and his children. He put in the Megillah, he put Mordechai and Esther. Esther and Mordechai are the model of reverse psychology of Judaism, and people that have to change by the situation and to react in zero time. For example, how would you imagine the miracle of Purim if Mordechai would come to Esther and say, Esther, I want you, as the Beis Yaakov girl, to go to marry Achashverosh. She will tell him, I'm sorry, there is a red line, we cannot cross it. We learn, no, I don't care about the miracle of Mordechai and Esther. This is when somebody is so stick to his mind, so nothing will come out of this. It's very dangerous what I'm telling you, because they become very wild, I can use it all together. But when the rabbi is telling you something, or Mordechai is telling, he is the prophet, he say, Hashem told me that you have to go to the palace. If she was not a brick wall, if she was a column, she would say, with all the respect, tell to Hashem that this is my resignation, and I'm going to vacation to, to Florida. But Esther, she told him, if this is what Hashem wants, yes. And the Torah brings, the Gemara brings so many tests that she has to go to. And what they are testing? Her flexibility in her understanding and the reaction. This is the only way to fight with this Haman way of thinking of columns. This, not this. Today, when we learn more about Baruch Hashem, when there is much more awareness of domestic violence, when husband or wife are abusing their spouses, we see that the root of this kind of behavior, of rude behavior, is when these people are living on a black and white, on columns, not on the bricks. For them there is good and there is bad, and there is no in between. Then we are losing them. I told you once, and it's one of the beautiful things of when I had to unfortunately deal with abused husband, that the husband told to his wife, you don't know to spend money, period. I am going to spend money, period. So he took all the money. Then he say, you don't know how to make food and don't waste food. I'm going to prepare the food. Then the next Meshugat, you give from the fruits and vegetables to your mother and to your sister from my house. So he wrote a note on the refrigerator. We have today 8 cucumbers, 4 tomatoes. If you take one, you have to write and sign. when I told him, I say, are you think that you are normal? He said, Rabbi Yehoshua, this is the column, spending, expenses. She is like this, and I am like this, and this is the only way to do it. Eventually, he stayed with the column himself now, no wife and no children. And he still, when he sees me, he said, Rabbi Yehoshua, how my wife could leave me, could leave heaven and went to live in Gehenom. I told him, maybe you have to change the names to Gehenom to Gan Eden to different. They are divorced now for 10 years. He still believed that his wife, she made the worst mistake when she left him. Because he was teaching her how to live a nice, productive, fruitful house. I am telling him, this is what we call columns. This and this, cement, beams, 1, 2, 3, and that's all. This is a very sad, this is the source of any kind of abuse when people have this kind of quality. They don't understand that life is not right and wrong, and the black and the white, maybe it's 5%. 90% is gray. 90% is gray. If you want to be optimistic, 98% is gray. 1% is right, 1% is wrong. Then you're going to see them sometimes they became religious. And they start to fight against all the world, and they say, Rabbi Yehoshua, we are L'Shem Shamayim. We are just L'Shem Shamayim. And everybody is against us, is against L'Shem Shamayim. I told him once, Admor Mikot say, you call Maasecha L'Shem Shamayim, that you L'Shem Shamayim should be L'Shem Shamayim too. Because today, Baruch Hashem, we can kill L'Shem Shamayim, we can curse L'Shem Shamayim, we can hit L'Shem, I call L'Shem Shamayim. This is what the Torah talks about columns. When somebody becomes paralyzed in his mind, he would like to test and to open, and maybe he's wrong. Even there, doesn't dare to test. Test is say, no, this is the way you should do it. In Israel, there was a joke. Somebody was very strict. So every morning he used to take 2 buses to his work. From when we lived in Kiryat Shalom to Allenby Street, and from Allenby to Dizengoff Street. Change our buses. So one, there was a strike of buses. So we went and he rented 2 bicycles. They told him why. He said he went all the way and he put it in Allenby Street. And he was wake up in the morning, he took 1 bicycle to Allenby, he changed the bicycle and went to the second one. Somebody told him, why to rent 2? You can buy 1 and go. He said, no. It has to be number 1 and number 2. And this is the way, no other way, don't talk me other thing, this is the only way. This is a disaster in life. Because if you don't test all your time, the way you behave to your husband, to your wife, to your children, to your parents, in your business, if you don't check it on a regular basis and come to your your axioma, don't change me, don't touch me, you become very, very dangerous person. To yourself and to others. No. You can insist, I have no problem, but it has to be through checking and through exploring. This is one aspect. The second one, if somebody will ask Amalek, tell me, I want to ask you, why you hate us? Explain me, maybe you have a reason. So, he will tell you, I really don't know, there is no reason to hate you. But I have to hate you. Why? Because it's the only way. There is no other way. And we go back to what I told you before. You can take half a lie, half a true, and make it together. And then the last Haman in our last century, he created a whole book about Jews and other people, and about cleaning the world, and about make Europe a better place to live. take half a true from here and half a false from here and false and make a whole ideology based on nothing. But again, it's the same problem. I want you to understand that if you really want to grow up in Judaism and in your own life, you should not defend your life for 120 years. Don't build barricades and fences and defend them. Maybe you are just defending something that nobody is against you. Once I told to a paranoid, I told him, you don't have enemies. So he told me, Rabbi, no, paranoids have enemies too. And he goes back to the system. I know that. We are not here to be afraid of nobody. Because if you believe in Hashem, and you build it slowly, a brick after a brick and a stone after a stone, and there are spaces sometimes that you are spacing out, sometimes it's okay, no problem, part of life. But if you are building, and you are questioning, and you are progressing, you can start to become a real person. To be hooked to what my grandfather did, it's very good up to a certain point. And if you're going to make the same, for example, today, let's say your grandfather was a big businessman in Shahri Sabs, or in Chitirchi, or in Samarkand, and used to buy and sell. And now he wants to take the same method over here, and he doesn't believe in the internet, and he doesn't believe in nothing. He wants to come and sell and buy. He's going to find out that he's losing the opportunity to be progressive, even though he was doing it for the last 40 years and it worked. And especially in our generation, which you see yourself, the changes of all the communication in the world has been progressing. Even us, that Baruch Hashem, we are not old. For us, we are not coping. That there is every other few weeks there is another generation. Somebody, I was in Israel, I was in Beirut, he said, Rabbi Yehoshua, do you have the third generation telephone? I told him, what is it? I know telephone, you take your phone. No, there is already fourth generation, third. I say, no, I'm still in the telephone generation. I say, Rabbi, you have to update yourself. I took it as a compliment, but maybe just to comfort myself. But so you don't understand what is the third generation of new. I don't say that whatever something in you, you have to jump and take it, but the idea you have to understand that the world is changing, and Avodat Hashem belongs to a lot of our progress, and we have to test ourselves all the time. Am I right? Or am I wrong? Am I doing the right thing? Not doing the right thing? And people has to answer questions. Sometimes not the nice, because not the easiest, because people don't like to change. They beg you, don't change me. And all the concept of Yetziat Mitzrayim is you have to change. You have to become a better person and a better Jew. You have to do it. Don't stick to your guns and defend what was happened 50 years ago. In the First World War, World War I, they used to fight with horses. The second one, they used tanks. Those who came with horses, after 24 hours, was defeated. But it worked 20 years ago. So what? And there are challenges, and there are questions, and there are not easy questions, and there are not easy answers. But you have to challenge yourself and ask yourself, am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing? Am I understanding what Hashem wants from me to do? And you need a guidance, and you have to ask questions. And they are not all the time a clear guidance, but you have to ask yourself. Don't lean on your past experience as a fact of life. Maybe it worked. They say that somebody that he won a big prize in the lottery, and they told him, how did you find this number? He said, very easy. I knew it's going to be 49. I said, how do you go to 49? He said, I multiplied 6 by 7, and it's become 49. So I told him it was 42. He said, no, but he wrote 49, but he is sure that he won this lottery because he made the right accounting, multiply 6 by 7. So once you won the lottery, but on the real life, it's much different. Now get back to maybe now you understand. I gave you a certain understanding about the question that I asked you. Why the names of Haman is written in 2 columns like Parashat Ha'azinu, and why in Shirat Hayam it's written in like a brick wall. And what is the connection Mapalatam Shel Reshaim? What is the problem of the Reshaim? And what is the difference between the Arich and the Levenite of Pharaoh about the long and this? I would like to focus on this and finish. The idea is that when you build a wall of Emunah, which is full of bricks, and sometimes there is big bricks and small bricks and space, it's a part of the walking. There is nobody can tell you, Rabbi, I am every day wake up and I pray Shacharit b'kavanah like Avraham Avinu. Sometimes you wake up and you pray with kavanah. Sometimes you just pray. Sometimes you remember when you say you start Hashem, you say Shalom, but you are building and you're going one day at a time, and you ask yourself why, and you get questions and answers, and this bechina will help you become a better person. Let's conclude. Today we talk about Shirat Hayam. And Paro, that started with the biggest question, who is God, ended that, please God, bless me. And this is for us a sign that to ask questions, to answer answers, if it's good, if it's difficult, or if it's easy, and experience it and explore it. This when you become like our fathers. We say that Avraham Avinu, כתוב, Avraham Zaken ba bayamim. What the Midrash says, that every day he grew up in Yirat Shamayim. And there is a Midrash that says until the age of 48, he was one of the builders of the Tower of Babylon. What are you looking at Tower of Babylon? If you are Yirat Shamayim. If you are searching, it's a part of your Avodat Hashem. You want to know. You want to go up. Ask the right people. Try to explore, try to learn more, gain knowledge, and gain, make your understanding wider. Then you become what Hashem wants you to be. It's a very cold night, and I really appreciate those of you who came in this kind. You get double and triple reward, and I will say this for Torah, Leilun Nishmat of my uncle that was a big rabbi in Israel, died 43 years ago at the age of 87, הרב יעקב קייקוב, בן מגיד, שיהיה מזלי ליצר בשמיים על כל עם ישראל. And next month and this time is Purim, and next 2 months is Pesach. And of course, we try to imagine that how to start to clean the house and make the kaskoni, the dushpera for Purim. But when we try to explore now, maybe try to imagine, maybe the Mashiach will come, and we have to prepare to go to Israel. So prepare your passports and prepare everything. It's another preparation to, beside of all the cleaning and which rice to buy and how to clean it and what to do, because maybe you're going to be in Yerushalayim. But we have to get from our boundaries and ask Hashem, please, we want Mashiach now. Shavua tov.